What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Everyday Faith podcast. We're so happy you're here. This is like take 5 because Trace can't control himself. But, man, we have such an amazing episode today. We're going to talk about the courage it takes to step out, that leap of faith. We're going to dive into some singleness, and I'm excited, man. So, wherever you're listening from, we're going to have a great conversation. And joining me today is a very close friend to me, like a brother that I never asked for. Uncle to my son, the one and only Trace Ham. And I'm very excited to have a good conversation with you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's Friday, and I have been trying so hard to have this episode with you. And
yeah, well, that's your fault.
It's not my fault.
It was your fault. Anyways,
I'm excited because I feel like you haven't been right next to me my whole journey that I've been in Florida. Pretty much, you've seen all my milestones, my engagement, my wedding, my child. We've seen a lot of our friends go through that also. I was the first person to come and reach out to you when you were at Kairos.
So true.
We can thank my wife for that, though.
Yeah, shout
she
out
told
Lincoln.
me, hey, that guy's alone.
Yeah,
I really think that you should go up there and
fitting for the episode conversation.
Say hi.
He's alone.
Yes. So tell me, Trace, when did you become a Christian, and maybe who influenced you on that walk of faith, or what influenced you? Take me back. Where are you from, Trace? Also,
I'm from Oklahoma.
As you can hear it.
What?
Hear that beautiful accent.
All right. So yeah, I'm from Oklahoma. Going back to like getting saved and stuff, I started out young. So like I remember getting saved at like probably 8 or 9. And then being baptized like shortly after that. But I would say like commonly, like we all say like our faith didn't become our own until later. But yeah, probably it wasn't too long after. But I knew I had a good grasp of what it was as a kid. Like I knew what I was doing whenever I got saved and stuff. But I mean, definitely like more serious in later years.
When you were 8 or 9, were you like involved in a church or going to a church?
Yeah, I grew up in church, so like just was around it. And I think it was mostly just like my like not youth, but like Sunday school leaders. And I guess Sunday school is the right thing. That's where like children's church.
How many? Oh, I had Sunday school. How many kids were in your Sunday school?
Well, but we weren't there early enough for it to be considered Sunday school. Like I would just go to a different building than the big church.
During church,
yeah.
We went an hour before church.
We did.
And there were 3 of us.
Yeah.
And me and my brother were
we
2
had
of
more
those
people than that. But yeah, I remember like the leaders in there like having a hand in like talking to me through faith and stuff. And then I remember my sister was like talking about getting baptized, and I was like, well, I think I want to do that too. Me and my sister are really close in age. So yeah. And so yeah, we got baptized at the same time. And then, but yeah, later on, probably like, I would say 12 for sure is when I remember like just going through like some difficult times and stuff within like our family and everything, is when I was like, I need this. And again, like I had transitioned to new like children's pastors. And I remember his name's Adam, but he was a big like influence in my faith at that time.
Oh, really?
And just like going through everything, like I just remember him being like a really good like figure of like, that's what I want to be, and like faith and stuff. And I just admired it so much. And then just like the intentionality of him like reaching out through the times that we were in, of just like wanting to invest in me and stuff. Like I felt that.
Was he older than you?
Oh yeah, he was my like pastor.
Gotcha.
Like the children's pastor at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I can't remember the last name. Anyway, shout out Adam and Megan.
What age would you say it was during that time, or like what age would you say that? Okay, like I really wasn't necessarily living a full life of Christ. I was maybe young.
Yeah,
and that you were like, I need to start living a life for Christ.
I would say like it was around 12 when I'm like from the time that I was saved and like, prayed the prayer, all that. I like knew about God. We still went to church consistently, but it wasn't until like then that I was like, okay, like being a Christian means being in the Word, being like I need this for, you know, like everyday life and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just going through that, and then yeah, like 12. But then I'd say like you have moments throughout life where it's like,
Oh, for sure.
like you can have multiple, and I think that's totally fine. It's not like you're saying like you weren't saved during those times, but you're just like
multiple moments you're coming back to God.
yeah, you're just like, yeah, you're just I don't hate the term rededicating, but like
Yeah.
I don't think I was rededicating.
Times.
You know,
Like
yeah,
you were
yeah.
just coming back to God.
I
like
was
the
just
prodigal.
Yes, yeah. You're just literally like turning away from what you're doing in that moment, and you're like, yeah, I need to follow closer and come back to it.
I've had that plenty of times.
Yeah, you
especially
have,
when you're
I feel like you have
in
moments.
high school and out of high school. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing
Yeah.
with my life.
Yeah, for sure. So like, yeah, I had a moment in high school too, and then for sure in college, and then probably another one like moving down here and just being around like the friends that I've
It's a different
acquired.
vibe.
Yeah,
Different than what you've grown up with.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
So what is Oklahoma like? Like for people that have never been there, if you could describe like what your favorite thing about Oklahoma is.
Well, compared to here, I love Oklahoma for the space.
Yeah, very, very spacious.
Very spacious, very flat. So we have great sunsets. I'm a
Do
big
they have
I'm a big
mountains?
sunset person.
Do they have mountains there?
No,
Or at least hills. Like
There-
in Pennsylvania,
Oklahoma, you have to
hills.
split into like 4 sections. So
Okay.
like northwest corner, you have like dry but like a little bit of grassiness.
Yeah.
Southwest corner, you have basically like think dry desert kind of vibes. Northeast corner, you have still kind of flat-ish, but it's like a lot of trees and lakes and stuff. And then southeast corner is where like the mountains would be.
Where were you at?
I'm in the northwest corner.
Gotcha.
So I'm by the stick.
I'm
that
still
pokes
waiting
out.
to take a trip out there.
We don't have to. we don't.
I want to see these sunsets.
The sunsets are great because it's dry again. So it's like when you have dust in the air. That's why Arizona has really good sunsets. I don't know if you knew that.
Really?
But yeah, it's like dusty. So like
It gives it a better
makes it
shade.
Yeah. Shade. I don't know.
Shade's
I don't know.
the wrong
I just
word.
agreed with that. But like
It's a better vibe.
it's just it gives it more color.
Yeah, I like that. So walk me through because obviously you lived in Oklahoma, now you're in Florida. How long you been in Florida?
I've been here 3 years.
I've been here 4. Wow, so you're not too long after me.
Well, yeah, like 3.5 almost. I guess.
Yeah. So walk me through when you kind of felt God calling you to Florida, and like what were some of those difficulties? I mean, that's a pretty far leap.
Okay, so yeah, school brought me here. So I knew I wanted to I've always wanted to. I wouldn't say always, because I used to be like such a homesick little kid.
Yeah, me too.
Which is surprising that I'm here, like so far away from home.
Me too.
Like no one would have guessed that I would do that. Like I would go to church camps and be like, I want to go home. You know, like I was just a homebody. But I would say like in high school and stuff, I was like, you know, I really want to go. Like I'd love to live somewhere, and I've always loved the ocean.
Yeah.
Like any vacation we take, I love the water.
You're a big ocean guy.
I love the ocean.
I think you're more of a beach guy. You love the tan.
I don't know that. I mean, that just comes along. That's like
It's part of the experience.
coming along with it. You know, you
Yeah.
just if you're out there, then it's like you're gonna get it. You know. But no, I just love the beach. It's like so calming, and I love the beach here because it's the spot you can go to. Like it doesn't look like Oklahoma, obviously, but it's like it's flat. You can see. Like that's what it reminds me of. I guess Oklahoma, but yeah, I knew I always wanted to like live somewhere else. I guess, and I was just like thinking like school for a few years would be the perfect opportunity. Like if I didn't love it down here, then I can always move back after school.
Yeah.
And then if I do love it down here, then I can just stay, you know. But
which we're still praying for.
we're still praying for. But yeah, so that's what brought me down here, and then yeah.
And now you're still down here.
Yeah.
How hard was it for you to just leave everything behind? I mean, you came down here not knowing anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I at least knew Lakin.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I didn't know
You were
anybody.
just like,
Yeah. It was like
I mean, did you have cold feet?
I don't know that I ever had cold feet, as like I never was like saying I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm too scared to go. But definitely whenever I got down here and I dropped my dad, my sister, and my sister's husband came with me like to help me just move.
Yeah.
Whenever I dropped them off at the airport, like it hit me that I'm like, oh, I'm here. And so that was scary. But like I never was like regretful, I guess, of like moving.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I mean, it's scary. Like whenever you're doing that, you don't have any family nearby. You're like, I mean, also whenever I dropped them off, like I still had not met anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm like sitting there in my home, like my new home by myself. And I'm just like all the pressures of like, okay, well, you have to like, you need some friends. You need to like meet some people, you know, you need to like
absolutely.
find a church.
Yeah.
And like, there's just a lot of things going on that you're like worried about, I guess. And yeah, so it was scary, but like, I never was like,
You were ready for the
I'm
adventure.
not going to do it. Yeah.
Now, how did you know, like, this is where God's calling me? Because I feel like when I left Pennsylvania, like I trusted God, but I still had that thought, like, am I really doing this?
Yeah.
Like, am I taking this leap of faith and just walking away from everything I've ever known? And obviously for me on the end that I am now, I'm like, it's the best decision I've ever made in my life, you know, because you meet so many people, you grow. And I mean, our little circle that we have of just good Christian men and women in our life is the best I ever had. But like, how did you go about like just really leaning on God through that?
Yeah, it was just, I mean, one thing that I'll credit myself on is I've never made like a big decision without like faithfully praying about it.
Yeah.
And while like, I don't know, I feel like people pray about things like that and you're like I'm never one of those people who's like, okay, God, if this is what you want from me, give me a sign. Like, I don't believe that, because I think that, anyways, I just don't believe in that. So, but yeah, I'm just like praying, like, if this is what you want from me, like, then I want it too, you know, like I want to obey, I want to follow like what you have for me. Like if this is good and it's going to be good for me, like I want to do it. And anyway, so it's like prayers like that where you're just like, I trust you. Like I know I could make any decision and like I'm going to be okay because I have you.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like hard in a sense of I wasn't scared of like failing, I guess. Like, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Oh, that was good. I think before we were doing this podcast, I was the scripture that came to my mind was Proverbs 3:5-6, where it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding."
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when I moved from Pennsylvania, I mean, there's just so much noise that you could really allow in that you're like, I feel like this is where God's calling me. I feel like I'm ready to trust God. But you kind of try and put your own sense into it. And I feel like once you try and do that, it can really kind of pull you away from where God's trying to pull you.
Yeah.
And at times not allow you to take that leap of faith because you're just so comfortable where you're at.
Yeah.
And
no, for sure.
Me and you both have seen what it's like to take that leap of faith and now be here. And I mean, just look at where we've been. Mm-hmm. Look where we've grown with God. Yeah.
And also I will say, like, just as a side note, it was easier for me to want to move like farther away because I lived 3 hours. I went to play a year of college basketball and it was 3 hours from home. And that was like...
You almost went to the G League.
No, I did not. I did not. That's false. But that was like a good stepping stone of like, okay, I could go further, you know? Because like when you're playing basketball, you can't go home like a lot, you know? So even in times where I was like, dang, I'm homesick, like you're kind of stuck there and it helps you kind of like get through that a little bit better. So yeah, moving there definitely helped. And so like I said, that was 3 hours away in Wichita, Kansas. And, but yeah, the theme of like, I just feel like God puts like themes in your life for whatever you're going through. Cause I was going to say like, I had, like, I think it's Jeremiah 1:9 where it's like, he'll be with you wherever you go. Yeah. And then I want to say Isaiah like 41:10, or I might be flip-flopping though, but like where God guides, he provides. Yeah. That's a paraphrase for sure. But like, so just seeing stuff like that pop up, you're like,
encourages you.
Yeah. You're like, okay, well, I feel like those are little reminders where like, if you're faithfully praying about something, you're going to notice those. Whereas if you're not, you're not like he does drop like signs, I guess, if you want to,
Yeah.
like without you demanding them.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna
Yeah.
give
It's
you
gonna
like
open the right doors.
yeah, he's gonna give you nudges. I would
Yeah.
say, like, I definitely felt nudges of like, yeah, this is right for you, and like I'm still gonna be with you wherever you're at. So
I feel like if it's challenging a little bit, I feel like that's kind of where God's kind of trying to point me, bring
Yeah.
me,
Yeah,
take
no,
me,
for
pull
sure.
me, whatever you want to say. Because I feel like if it's just like really easy, I feel
Yeah.
like, is this really where He wants me?
yeah,
But what would you say to somebody out there right now who's listening to this that is feeling called somewhere? Maybe it's only an hour away, maybe it's across the country, and they are just. I mean, I think about when I was even trying to think about going to college. I was like, I can't leave my state.
Mm.
Like I wasn't ready.
yeah,
But what would you say to someone that's listening who is feeling that tug on their heart that like, I feel like God's pulling me to this place, but I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can leap. I don't know if I can do it.
yeah. I would just say, like, if you feel like you've been, like I said, praying about it, and you're like, you're not just like blindly going into it based on like your feelings or
Yeah.
you know, like, I feel like if you're feeling called to do something, then like that's not a lie. Like,
Yeah.
like it is hard to discern sometimes, but if you're like, it's easier to block out like the lies from like the enemy whenever you're praying about it, you're in the word.
Yeah.
Like if you're not faithfully praying about it, you know, you're just like, then yeah, maybe you are getting like bad advice that you're listening to, and it's kind of like just based on like, okay, well, this is what I want,
yeah.
so I'm gonna. It's like when you flip a coin for like what fast food restaurant you want, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And you're like, deep down you knew like I already wanted this one, so like that would be you probably being like, this is more what I want, instead of I'm gonna trust whatever is what the coin says.
Yeah.
You know, so anyways, just looking at it like that, like where if you're praying about it, you're like following God, then I don't think that there's a wrong choice that you can make. You know?
Yeah. And I would even point the person back that's listening back to the verse that we just read in Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Because I feel like if I just think about, I'm not saying if I don't go down the right door that God didn't want me to, that I won't and have amazing moments with godly people, right? But I think about how scary it is to take that leap of faith. But when you trust in God and you're praying about it and you're meditating about it and you follow Him, the places He leads you, if you let Him, are just so incredible. Like I think about when I was young in my faith and I would pray, you know, Lord, today let me be there for somebody. Let me be there to love on somebody. But I would never say, use me.
Yeah.
Because I was too scared. What does that look like? I didn't know.
Right.
But now, like, as I've grown in my faith, like, Lord, use me. And, you know, I think in this world, we're so afraid of what the world's going to think.
Yeah.
Like, what if I travel all the way across this country? It doesn't even work out. People think I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if you go, like, if I could talk to my younger self, what if you do move to Florida?
Yeah.
And you marry the love of your life. And now you have a little boy. And you've met such great men and women in your life. Now they're aunts and uncles to your son.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't have had that in Pennsylvania, but I feel like God blessed that a little bit more because I actually trusted Him and I leaned on Him and I came. Yeah.
I think that's what stops a lot of people, is like a lot of people will kind of demand the bigger picture in those moments where you're like, okay, well, show me that I'm going to be okay.
Give me the clarity.
Yeah. Give me clarity.
Show me the picture.
Show me like down the road, like what you have for me, instead of.
But it'll give you a glimpse.
Yeah. Well, and even if He doesn't give you a glimpse, like you don't have to see, like I've always just said that you don't have to see the whole picture to obey.
Yes.
So it's just like whatever you're going through in the moment, like that's what He's working on you for. And so like just obey that, and then the next thing will probably be revealed, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's calling you to obey this without seeing what He has next for you. So it's like, you know, just trusting in that. But yeah. And then another thing that I would say is just like, if you're feeling like, I'm scared of feeling comfortable, I would say, because I feel like if I'm feeling like too comfortable in my faith, not that I like,
which is the opposite for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, and not saying that if you're feeling comfortable where you're at, like you need to move, you know, it's
get off your couch right now and go move.
Yeah. You don't have to move to be like following God, you know, you can follow God where you're at, but the comfortability is like, if you're feeling comfortable like in stagnant in your faith and your walk, like that's what scares me, because
Yeah.
that I feel like,
I agree.
you know, you're no longer, if especially like conviction, like if you're not feeling convicted about, like I fear the day that I no longer feel convicted about
Yeah.
whenever I'm going through a tidbit of road rage and I like
Yeah.
call them a name and I don't immediately like feel like, okay, why'd you do that, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm fearful of just small things like that, where you're like, if you don't feel convicted even after that, just
Yeah.
because.
It's like, are you building that fire every
Yeah,
day
it's
and growing
like-
with God?
Yeah, and I always
Like
want.
you just cussed out your neighbor. You don't feel any kind of conviction.
Right.
For it.
Yeah,
You
you
did
know?
the one finger wave in traffic on 95 today.
Yes, exactly. So I don't flip people off.
I'm not saying you do.
Okay.
I love what you're saying.
I
though.
just need to, like,
because every day we are sinners.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned from having a wife and a son is like there is just a mirror reflected at you, and it's like every day if you aren't feeling like there is some aspect of your life that
Yeah.
you'd be growing in,
Yeah, there's
maybe
always.
you're not doing something right.
Well, and I fear that like God's not working on me, you know.
Yeah.
And I always want to be worked on. Like I
Yeah.
always want to be continuously like being shaped, being molded into what like I'm being called to do, be, whatever. And also like if you're complacent where you're at, like you're gonna miss, like I fear of missing moments where like I am being led to like share faith, or you know, like there's just so many moments where you can like see God working, and if you're just like comfortable, you're not going to notice those.
So
And
there's a lot of moments in
Yeah.
our everyday lives
yeah, for sure.
that we could share the gospel
Yeah.
or be a loving face to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's what's great about this podcast, because
And
we're
that's
here
uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
So,
we have to learn to live in the uncomfortable.
yeah, for sure.
Well, Trace, one thing that I am so proud of you about, and I mean, you could be battling something totally behind closed doors I don't know about, but you are single.
Mm.
And one thing that I could say that I'm proud of you for is, I mean, you've seen all your closest friends get married.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen them all day.
Been at all the weddings.
You've been at all the weddings.
and engagement parties.
You've been in most of them.
Didn't know engagement parties were a thing until coming down
Until
here.
you came down. Yes. Yeah. And I think that when before we were doing this podcast and I was thinking about it, I was talking about singleness. I was like, man, yes, I think every single person here has tried to help you find a wife because we want you to stay in Florida. Yeah. But I've never once heard you complain about it.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you for that.
Thanks.
Because and you could be in the car after this just I wish I had a wife.
Gosh dang it. Got brought up again.
But I'm really proud of you for that, because we live in such a world that's such the opposite.
Mm.
You know, when you're single, that's the best time of your life, man. You should be sleeping around. You should be going and get drunk, go to the bar, go hang out with some friends. Don't worry about getting home early. Like, go out and do your thing, right? There is no rush to be married, have kids, and, you know, God's design, you know, back of your mind. Right. And so I'm very proud of you for that. I was thinking about that today. I think that's one of the reasons why I love you.
Thanks.
But it. How has being in the season of singleness, how does that shape your walk with God? How's that grown your relationship with God? Because I mean, I was guilty of, like, whenever I was single, like, I hated it. And it's not like I wanted just to be, like, I hated that feeling of loneliness. And that's where I was immature in my faith. Yeah. And didn't realize, but I'm not lonely. Yeah. Like, I have an amazing Father.
I think that's what it, like, teaches you, is to be dependent on your relationship with God more than anything, you know, like you can't care for someone else if you haven't cared for your faith. Like, if you're trying to
say one more time.
I don't actually know what I said.
You said you can't care for someone else if you don't care about your faith with God.
Okay, yeah.
I said the same thing to Lakin when we broke up. I said I couldn't take care of you because my relationship with God wasn't even great. Right.
Especially if that's your desire. Like, it's not everyone's desire in today's world to, like, want God at the center. But if you, like, do, then, like, you have to, like, not saying that I don't have it figured out to where, like, I am open to, like, a relationship and stuff. But, like, I've always wanted to have my relationship with, like, Christ in a position where I'm fully capable and able to step in as, like, a leadership role from, like, day one, and not have to, like, not saying that you won't have to figure things out, but, like, I've always wanted my faith to be in a position to just step in and, like,
I love that.
Know that I could take care of someone And,
I love that.
you know, like,
yeah, I mean,
just
it's very important that your foundation is being built very strong.
yeah,
On
like
God's
have a good
word.
rock, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Man, I mean, if you aren't, and I've preached this to my youth students when I was with high school. I mean, if you aren't strong in your relationship with God, it's going to be very difficult for you to walk in a relationship with a woman or a man if you're a woman, and be able to not only grow together but grow towards God.
yeah.
And so me and Lakin always use this chart where it's a triangle, and if you are growing towards God, you'll grow towards to each other.
Right, yeah.
Towards
Yeah, I
each
remember
other.
you guys talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, like, how do you set up guardrails in your life? Like, how do you continue? Because obviously it's not like you're closed off.
Mhm.
Like, you're like, I am this amazing man that I just don't
Yeah.
need any woman. Like, you obviously are looking for a woman.
Yeah.
Now, how do you set guardrails up in your life where you don't allow like loneliness to creep in? You don't allow the outside world to creep in. Like, I just feel like it is very easy to let things poison your mind.
Yeah.
Is the way that we were just talking about, actually.
No, yeah, it's like so easy. It's
Social
crazy.
media, movies, TV shows. Like,
Social
you can watch
media.
some and be like, why can't now it's so easy because like in your mind you can be like, I could just download an app
Mm-hmm.
and I could have somebody watch a movie with me tonight.
Yeah,
You know?
true.
But
I mean,
that's
I've never.
not
I didn't know that, but yeah.
you know, like that's,
You mean like in person, or like you can download an app and watch it through a screen?
I'm talking about like if you downloaded like Tinder or
Oh, okay.
Bumble and hey,
I
come over
completely thought you were like
an app that
you can
watches
FaceTime
movies.
someone and be like, watch this movie with me.
But actually, like,
Anyways.
there's so much poison out there that really just tampers with the thing that we're looking for, right? Like, we're looking for God's design. We want to be with a woman.
Yeah.
We don't want to have an intimate relationship until marriage, and that's not something that's normal. So
Yeah.
what do you do in your life to prepare yourself for that,
Like,
or to protect your heart?
yeah, I think you have to set boundaries for yourself. It's just like anything, like you're going to have boundaries with your spouse.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you and like can have boundaries with each other, you know? And just in the same sense, you have to have them for yourself. Like whatever it's this, I feel like it's the same. And like, obviously your boundaries are going to look different than mine in some cases, but I feel like they're still like the same principles of like, you know, you don't want to be like sexually immoral. You don't want to see things on your phone that like leads you astray, leads your eyes astray.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, like I had to get rid of, it wasn't like explicit things really that made me delete social media and stuff, but it was more so like just the world getting crazy.
Yeah.
And I just was tired of seeing like things that would bring my mood down.
Yeah.
And
oh
then
yeah.
and then you're just like, why is this able to affect my like peace, you know? Like, so it just had like power. Huh?
Get behind me, Satan.
Yeah. It was just having like power over me, like over my moods and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, I got to get rid of this.
Mm-hmm.
So even just that, like, and of course, like you see things on social media that you don't want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said this, and I'll say it on here, but like Twitter is crazy. Twitter is crazy.
Yeah. Okay, Trace. My last question to you, what would you say to someone that's listening to this podcast right now and they are in a season of singleness and I mean they're struggling? What's some advice that you could give them that helped you get through your journey?
I would say that you're just, again, it's going to sound like you're just saying something so easy and it's hard to do, but
yeah,
like you just really have to lean in on like your faith. Like if you're struggling in your singleness, you kind of have to just take a step back and like evaluate why, I guess, you're struggling. Because like I've had to do that too, where I'm like, okay, am I actually wanting a like relationship right now, or am I just kind of like feeling like distant from God?
it's almost like when you're hungry and you're like, am I really hungry or am I
Yeah.
thirsty?
Yeah, you're like,
Oh,
are
I'm
you
thirsty
bored?
for the word of God?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or are you bored? You know,
Yeah,
like, are you
yeah.
just not doing much right now? Like,
Like, are you prioritizing your time right now?
yeah, like, or yeah, what are you prioritizing too? But yeah, and also, I feel like most people struggle with just like comparison
Oh yeah,
aspect, like,
especially with social media nowadays.
yeah, and like even you guys, like I sometimes will catch myself. I'm like, dang, I want to be like all my friends are getting married. Like it's easy to like fall into that comparison and feel like you're behind.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say too, is like, you're not behind. Like God still has a plan. Just because you're like not where someone else is at doesn't mean that you're forgotten.
Amen.
So, and like also like obedience doesn't, again, like you don't have to see the bigger picture to like obey what God is calling you to do in like that moment. So like, yeah, I mean, you're going to struggle. Everyone's going to struggle with anything that they're in.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just kind of have to evaluate what your struggle is and evaluate your heart too. And
I love that one. Evaluating your heart.
yeah, like just seeing what maybe the root of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's always probably going to be something different than what like you have decided that it is. Like if you're wanting something that you think can fix it, it's probably not going to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, like focusing on God is going to fix it.
And I'd even say that continue to dive in your relationship with God, but not just dive in your relationship with God, but like we said, dive into your community. Man, you need some brothers and sisters around you that help distract you from that loneliness.
Yeah.
And like going out there and making memories with friends. I mean, dive into some deep relationship with friends. I mean, getting connected at church, you might find your wife there.
Right.
You know, so I mean, there's a lot of options that you can do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and just like a verse that I have pulled up that I've always loved too is just, it's Isaiah 26:3, but it says, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust you. So
trusting God, we talked about that a lot today.
yeah, just the fact that like it says you will keep in perfect peace, that doesn't mean like, actually I was home and my home pastor said, peace is not the absence of like problems, it's the presence of God.
Oh,
And I wrote that in my notes, obviously. But yeah, like just that's so true. Like, because you can read that verse and be like, okay, well, if I'm reading the Bible, if I'm praying, then I should be in perfect peace.
Yeah.
Well, that like peace doesn't mean that you're not going to have any worries, you're not going to have any struggles, but it does mean like you'll be equipped to deal with those. And like you will have like perfect peace if you are in God.
Yeah.
Through those, you know, like you can walk through it in peace, knowing that like God's going to take care of it. He's fighting for you. He's like vouching for you, and you just have to stay faithful.
Yeah, it's like when people become Christians and they're like, my life's going to be so easy and
Yeah,
perfect now.
it's
But
not.
it's like, no, there's going to be trials and there's going to be tough times.
Yeah.
But God does promise his peace, which, like you said, like God's going to be with you.
Yeah.
And he's going to guide you through it. And you're going to grow through it. I mean, if you pray for patience, he's not just going to make you a patient person. He's going to give you some hard things that are going to teach you how to be patient in them. But
yeah, it's true.
I appreciate you being on the podcast, man. Thanks. I really do. I'm excited to see what God does with this message, and I'm excited for you to find your future wife one day.
Sure.
In God's timing, though.
Yeah.
In God's timing.
Right.
I think there's a reason.
Yeah,
I think because God is getting the right woman ready for you.
Yeah.
And you.
And me, yeah.
And you.
Still working on me, too.
I think you're perfect.
I'm not perfect.
But thank you, Trace, and we thank everybody for listening. Everyday Faith Podcast, and we'll see you in the next one.